Oh yes, it's your boy Smoove. We appreciate you for stopping through. Listen, today we're going to talk about why women are happier after divorce. Sounds crazy, right? Let's jump into it.
Just come outside for the night. Take your time.
Right. So, a dramatic improvement. Gotta agree. Part of you should ask the question, why isn't that she couldn't do that for her husband? And I've heard some explanations before. Sometimes women feel like they're trapped. They feel like there's a weight on them. There's different expectations going into a marriage than what they actually receive when they're in the marriage. Right? So they're stressed out, cortisol levels are high, and they just can't perform in that way. And I feel like there's so much duty to perform. The other part of that is I don't think that it necessarily gets easier, because now usually the default is in the 90 percentile, probably about 93% last I checked, where women receive the children. So you would have more care of the children. I'm not sure how much care she would have had to have given to her husband. I don't know if he was just a lazy bum, or maybe he threw his clothes all over the place, or maybe he wanted a home cooked meal every day. Who knows, right? But the expectations have dramatically changed as far as what women expect out of men. And to be fair, they are doing other things that they did not have to do before. Now, the government has made it in such a way where we can't handle the expenses on our own as men. So our main utility is pretty much obliterated. And we've made the society so safe right now, at least relative to what it used to be. Right. I grew up in the 90s, so I can tell you, yeah, I've seen a vast improvement just from then. Women feel safe without the presence of a man. So what are you really providing? Men were never expected to be emotionally intelligent and 6 feet and everything else that women are expecting nowadays. So when they don't get everything that it is that they want, they feel trapped, depressed, caged, and you get results like this. And sometimes they may feel like there's a weight lifted off their shoulder. I've seen similar instances for men also, where they would have a glow up because, believe it or not, sometimes they're a shell of themselves. Sometimes we get into situations where we're stifled. We are putting our family first. We are working extra so the kids could have more, so you can get more things for your household. So I can see both sides of this going on. Jumping in the next video though.
Know that I totally do not understand why women love to curse women and tell them to then divorce them, not have no man and them single. Let me tell you something, man and a trophy. Me not know about uno, but man and a trophy.
Whoa, this woman is a rude gal. Yardy. I'm gonna have to translate. I apologize, but we're gonna make the best of it.
See, you see how me I can speak for myself. You see this divorced woman, you see sit here, the single woman, yeah, that one here. Me say me I get a monthly pension that is bigger than you guys where I watch me paycheck. You notice me, sometimes 5 months for the year me no work. 5.
Okay, so she's basically saying she's getting to the money. She doesn't really suffer as a result of her divorce. She's getting pension bread and all kinds of stuff. She's a nurse practitioner and she's doing it big. 5 months out of the year, she doesn't have to work apparently. And that's the thing. That's the thing. Men aren't expected to be the providers that they were. So there goes our perceived value.
Consecutive years. 5 months for the year me no work. Because I'm financially stable. My divorce make me get 401k 457 assets. Uno now watch me. Being single is not a crime. Let me tell you something. Some of uno are in some relationship that is so toxic. The man disrespect uno, curse uno. Uno have to take uno pitney and run got friend yard, run got family yard. Let me tell you something. Some of uno get bun. Uno get bun so till uno turn crispy. Uno stiff with bun. Me tell you something, not because a woman and a man separate and go them one way mean that say them was having a toxic relationship. No. We weren't.
She was talking about the effects that it has on children, basically, and we're going to keep it going.
Having a toxic relationship. As a matter of fact, when my ex-husband come to New York, and my second vehicle him drive. And my second vehicle him drive. We have a good relationship. Come in at the yard, talk to him, pitney them, sit down as long as he want, drink water. When he
coming to my yard, it basically means my house, right? So she's saying that her ex-husband can come over to her house, eat, drink, chill with kids, no issues.
I didn't go in at the kitchen, make sandwich and cook for him son or him daughter. Me don't know what it is to have a toxic relationship, because toxic relationship destroy kids and create dysfunction. Family, dysfunctional family. Me not have that, me just grow out of love. 25 years and me grow out of love.
Yikes. So she said she grew out of love. This is now typical of the modern day women. Good, bad, or ugly, whatever you want to call it. But this is just typical of modern day women. They no longer view marriage as a duty. And I'm not here to say they should, but I'm here to identify the difference. Women and men, but mostly women, because they leave 70 to 80% of the time of divorces, statistically, not my opinion. So they no longer really view it as a duty. So they can just leave when they feel like it, right? Men can do the same, right? Men absolutely do file divorces, but not nearly at the clip that women do. And once women are tired of you, then they're out. They're out right about now, because it's actually incentivized, right? Because let's just say you were the primary provider, you will still be forced to provide. Whereas whatever the woman's duties were in general, right? It's not necessarily sex-based. However, the laws would absolutely be different if the divorces were not significantly filed by women, if the children's custodies weren't like 90% beneficial. And usually, even though women aren't necessarily depending on the man for money as much, 9 out of 10, he's the breadwinner.
And it does happen. So let me tell you something. No, don't worry about this auntie. This auntie is financially stable. Because I'm not there with pia, man. My husband was at work, and my ex-husband, and he provide for him family. So I don't see how me roll. Sometimes I'm missing in action and you can't find me. Me alright. Don't worry about me. And now that I am a nurse practitioner, my salary top up. Way top up. I am not worried. I'm not bothered. You understand? Yesterday this girl I cursed this other girl, and I tell this girl on the job that, oh, you're divorced, you know, no man. Me have to step in and I say, stop it. Stop it. People divorce for reasons. Let me tell you something. Peace of mind and mental health is the best. Do not stay in toxic relationship.
Valid. I do not believe that men or women should stay in a relationship that they deem as toxic. Why would you want to stay in a situation just for the kids, right? And a lot of us have done that, but it's not the best, right? Even though you think that it may be better for the children to have access to the father or mother in very rare cases after divorce. Sometimes if that toxicity level is high enough for the children to notice, then it will be detrimental to everyone. So don't stay in a toxic relationship.
Sometimes we stay in relationship because we are saying our children, you know, we want our children to grow up with a father, but we make it worse, especially when it became a situation in the house where the kids are witnessing, you know, all this cursing and this, you know, bad vibes and negative energy. It's better when you go in a separate way. Let me tell you something. A piece of
Great points. Now, I do want a question answered down there. You can put the fist on it so we know we're talking about this particular question, and I'll interact with you guys. Do you think that parents should try to stay in a relationship even if it's toxic for the kids? Do you think it's more beneficial for them to stay together so they won't have the absence of one of the parents? Or do you think that toxicity is going to have more of an adverse effect on the children? We're going to jump into the next video.
I'm not exaggerating when I say that every single divorced woman that I know is happier now than when she was married. It doesn't matter if she's 60, if she's 20, if she has kids, if she had to go back to school, if she had to go back to work. Every single one of them looks better, feels better, acts better, and appears to be thriving. Or at least just not miserable like they were when they were married. And on the flip side, the majority of their husbands are not doing well.
That was a lot.
That's pretty telling.
No, lady. You're lying. I really don't believe that. Studies show that women are able to adapt a lot quicker, and the men are usually broken financially, so they're sleeping on air mattresses. They are in tiny apartments, or sometimes at their people's house. Various situations post-divorce, right? And they try to make sure that the ex-wife and definitely the children are still good, so they take the brunt of the negativity. It's particularly financially. Now, over time, that gap closes and men adapt and absolutely have a glow up. It might take them a couple of years to get it right, but men will adapt, men will rebuild, and absolutely be better off overall. Next video.
Getting a divorce quite literally saved my life. And I know that sounds super dramatic, but
it does. It does sound super dramatic. It does.
I'm being so serious. Hear me out. I was married for a total of 6 years, and 1 month actually. We had just celebrated our 6-year wedding anniversary when I found out everything. He asked me for a separation, a divorce, whatever. So we were together for a total of 7 years because we...
What does she mean? She found out about everything. What does that even mean? We need more context.
Were dating before we got married, obviously. Not very long, but we were...
Yeah, that's silly. So you were together a total of 7 years, married for 6 and change. That kind of means you got married way too quickly. I wouldn't marry someone within a year of meeting them. That's just absurd, but carry on.
We did date. So I was a stay-at-home mom literally basically the entire time we were together. I think I got pregnant shortly after we started dating. So I stayed
shotgun wedding. They're never successful.
Home my entire pregnancy because I was so sick, and then up until literally February of last year I was a stay-at-home mom. And when I say getting a divorce saved my life, I do not mean that in a joking way at all. It literally saved my life. Not only was I absolutely miserable, never slept, I never got breaks, I never did anything for myself. I really was so consumed with being a mom and being a wife that I literally did not take care of myself. I was so deeply depressed and anxious. I was so self-conscious.
I'm curious to know what being a wife means. I understand being a mom. That's tough. Being a wife, I'm trying to understand what it is that she found to be so difficult about being a wife.
Did not take care of myself. I really put myself on the back burner, and getting divorced and being separated for the last year has changed my life dramatically. Cannot even tell you how.
Yeah, you're not telling us. We know you can't tell us because you haven't articulated one single thing so far. You a couple minutes in now and you haven't told us anything about how this was so difficult or how this saved your life. You really can't tell us, can you?
Happy I am. Do I have days where I'm sad? Yes. And it has nothing to do with my marriage. In a sense, like, I'm sad that my kids don't have the life that I always dreamed of, and I don't have the life that I always dreamed of, but I am proof that you could literally have everything. You could have everything. You could have the house, you could have the cars, you could have the money and still be unhappy, because
That sounds like a you problem, just saying. You could have everything and still be miserable. That's a frame of mind, right? Carry on.
if you're not with someone that genuinely loves you, and if you're not genuinely happy within yourself, you're gonna be miserable. It doesn't matter what you have. It literally does not matter what you have, because it's just stuff at the end of the day. You can't put yourself on the back burner and be happy. Look at pictures of myself. It makes me sick and it makes me sad, because so freaking miserable. I did not take care of myself. I didn't like gain a bunch of weight. I was actually the opposite. Like, I could not gain weight. Hardly wore makeup. I didn't really get dressed. Like, I was always pregnant or breastfeeding or postpartum. I was constantly being something for somebody 24/7, and I was
Your children. I'm trying to figure out what it is that she did for this man that was so tough. She hasn't mentioned a single thing yet. She's talking about mom stuff, and you didn't want to be a parent, and I get it.
never just me. I never got to be just me. I breastfed both my sons for 2 years straight.
What the hell is wrong with you? Why were you feeding your children breast milk for 2 years? What are we doing? What are we even doing? What are we even doing? What? What?
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
Yeah.
I never slept. In the years I had my sons, I never slept, and I was the only one that woke up with them. And I was so miserable. You have no idea how badly you can feel when you don't sleep. My middle son, he was a colicky baby, and I was the only one that took care of him. And that's not to shit on my ex, but like, I was the only one that took care of our babies as babies. He was better in the toddler years, but like as babies, it was all me, especially our first son. So,
If it was all you, how could it be especially at the same time? Carry on.
both of them were constantly latched onto me. And my middle son, like I said, he was
That's your fault. That's your fault. If you didn't teach your children independence and how to cope with it for a minute, and you felt the need to pick them up every single time they cried, you're a bad parent. I apologize.
colicky, so he never slept. When my ex would go and do 24-hour duty, he would leave at 6 in the morning and then get back at 6 in the morning the next day, and I was still awake with our son, just sitting.
But why? But why? But why? Put them on a sleep schedule. Poor parenting.
Miserable, patting his back, because the only time he would sleep was sitting up on my chest. So
Your fault. Your fault. The information is available. I'm sorry. The internet, the Google thing, that wasn't like that serious when I was parenting young children. And I still found a way, right? Whether it was some type of person, whether it be, the grandparents, friends who already had children, whatever. She's pretty social. She's posting on social media. So she probably has some type of friend group or someone who she could talk to. Or you could just talk to your doctors. But, whatever.
video I have in my drafts of me hysterically crying because he woke up 10 times in one night. I never slept. And when we separated and I was forced to sleep, it changed me mentally, it changed me physically, it changed me in every aspect. Sleep is so important. I also hardly ate when I was married because I was always taking care of everybody else. I was always feeding everybody else and always cooking for everybody else. But by the time it came, I was like, I don't even want to eat because it's cold and I'm tired. So I never was taking care of me. And getting divorced
Yeah, this generation is lazy. You're lazy. And you know why I would tell you that? My mother had 6 kids, right? So there was 8 of us in a household. She found a way to eat. She fed everybody. And she worked more than one job. Still cleaned up. Like, what are we talking about? My grandmother had 11 children. Shut up, lady. You're a lazy bum. I apologize.
has forced me to take care of me. And I am so thankful for that. I am so thankful that I have found the time to take care of me, to do what I want to do, to go to the gym, which I'm doing right now, to read books and read my Bible and find my relationship with Jesus. And like, just, it has changed my life so much. And I am so incredibly happy. There are so many things that I want to achieve, yes. And do I think that more happiness is out there? Absolutely. But I am proof that you could have everything and still be miserable.
Yeah, you can have everything and still be miserable. You know what that means? You're insufferable. That's what you are. Yeah, I can't with that lady, that last lady. Yeah, forget that lady, man. Forget that lady. Forget her. She's a spoiled brat is what she is. She's a lazy sucker. That's her. For real. I can't believe the nerve of that woman. And I'm sure her ex-husband is happier too. Seriously. Selfish, self-centered, me. Okay, you sacrifice for your children. That's what parents do. You don't want to be a parent. And I think we should examine the idea of not just marriage, which we'll get to that in a second, but parenting. I don't think that everyone deserves to be parents. I think that we should have licensing for parenting. We should have licensing for parenting. Not everybody deserves to be parents. For real. And as far as the concept of marriage, currently I think it's outdated. We haven't made any serious adjustments for what marriage should be, right? But women are not satisfied with marriage. Men are not satisfied, but women are way less satisfied. It shows by the amount of women who leave. And it doesn't matter if that's a good, bad, or ugly thing. But what we do realize is that there needs to be some type of reform. I don't think that someone should be forced to be tethered to a person that they no longer have the desire to be with. I don't think that you should be able to go and elope, be married within an hour, and then it takes months to years to get away from that person. That's why people feel trapped, caged, alone, depressed, because they can't get out of it. I think that there's too much pressure on people to be together. And I don't think that everyone is suitable for marriage. I don't think that everyone wants marriage. People are doing marriage because they're told that it's the right thing. And even if you want to get married, you can have, your religious ceremony or whatever type of ceremony that you want. It doesn't mean that you have to involve Uncle Sam. I think it creates way too many issues. And guess what? As far as the assets are concerned, just keep your own. Simple as that. Keep your own. I don't understand why we feel like we have to be married. And I think we should really start to take a closer look at reconstructing how marriage is executed. Those are my thoughts. I'm very curious to see what you think, and you can easily let me know down below. We appreciate and love you for being here. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to jump through and talk to your boy Smoove. And as always, stay hungry, my friends. Never thirsty.